Hello and welcome to Gag of the Millennial, where we talk about pop culture,
current events, and spill the hot British lapsang souchon.
And today we're going to be talking about YouTubers of the past and how they have affected us.
Yeah. So we have both been on the internet for a very long time. Now I know a lot of my viewers on my channel are from a younger demographic who were actually like proper like kids when we first started on the internet and first started watching people. How did you, first of all, how did you discover YouTube?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, let me just interject here and say that my audience demographic is between 24 and 34. So I think it's like the band above yours in terms of age. Yeah. But so some of those possible 34-year-olds have been around with me for as long as I've been on the internet.
Well, I'm one of them.
Yeah, there you go, 34, looking good.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it all really started on MySpace for me. And in fact, it started on Xanga.
Actually, I didn't even know what that is.
Gag of the Zang.
Gag of the Zaggy.
Xanga was like a blogging website, just like real basic blogging website. A bit like WordPress and all those other ones that you can imagine. What you could do is code your page and talk about your day and things. And that's what I did. I posted pictures of myself and my friends. That was that. And then it eventually evolved into MySpace. And that's where this kind of whole video and pictures and sort of social media as we know it kind of started.
Yeah.
Because that kind of just evolved into YouTube at the same time.
What year was this, sorry?
Oh, this must have been 2005.
Yeah, because it started in 2005 as YouTube started.
Well, the way that I likely found it, because I don't know 100% for sure, but the way that I'm thinking about it at the time is because you could code your own MySpace and you could put pictures and videos into your HTML code. I'm pretty sure that that's how I discovered it. It was just that kind of natural progression into watching videos and then finding out that YouTube, what it was, because at first it's kind of this is just a video sharing website. Yeah. There are loads of those. There was Vimeo, Dailymotion, all of these things. But at the time it was just a video sharing website. There was no YouTubers. It was just, I'm hosting this video to post it somewhere else.
The sneezing panda, those kind of weird things that go viral.
My day at the zoo, or wherever it was.
The first ever video. So I started originally, me and my friend Daniel, we would watch videos on Albino Black Sheep. That was
oh gosh, yeah, newgrounds.com.
Yeah, and there was one
Albino Black Sheep.
There was Liquid Generation or something. That was another thing that was around. But so a lot of those flash video websites, which we'd watch a lot of the stupid videos that are on that, the cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I don't stupid videos like that, badger. So we would watch things like that. I never had internet to start with. I always had to go to a friend's house. We'd watch stuff. So he showed me, this is 2005. He showed me Will It Blend.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I think he's still doing it now. After all of these years, I think he's still doing it. And so basically, if people don't know for the younger viewers, Will It Blend was this guy who would have a blender. It was this really strong blender. It was basically
industrial blender.
It was just an advertisement the entire time. All it was an advert for this, but we didn't think of it like that. No. It was kind of let's watch this person.
Now we're sponsor content. Oh, where's your hashtag?
Can you imagine? So this guy was basically saying Will It Blend, and he put the most weirdest things in the blenders, different blends. I remember stumbling across that, and I was wow, this is fun. So we would always watch stupid videos of that for a long time. And then we discovered Kelly Likes Shoes.
Oh, I was going to talk about Kelly Likes Shoes.
That was, I remember.
Shoes.
Oh my god, shoes.
Oh my god.
Let's get some shoes.
Let's get some shoes.
That was
iconic.
That was an iconic internet video.
That was the first drag social media superstar.
Yeah, literally that was honestly. And then
Kelly Loves Shoes.
So getting into queer YouTubers and things that I discovered. I remember so when I got internet, 2007, it was early 2007, one of the first people I found was Chris Crocker, and it was actually before the Leave Britney Alone thing. I don't remember exactly how I found him. And I remember the video, it was girls who hit on gay guys, we've all seen it. And he was talking about how this girl was a hit on gay. It was obviously, all of his videos were scripted and staged and done by a producer, but again, it was back in the time where no one knew if it was real or not. So everyone thought he was actually kind of a bit mental like this, but it was all fake. And so I remember stumbling across him, and then I stumbled across Love B. Scott.
Oh gosh, Love B. Scott.
So people, so before before she had transitioned and stuff, she would do just videos, and she was just an androgynous guy in makeup, and became friends with Chris Crocker because of the Leave Britney Alone video, and she would interview him and stuff. So it's the first time I'd actually seen androgynous people properly, and I was and at this point in my life, I was very much in the closet still, and seeing people like this and just being so not completely understanding, because trans identity and trans stuff wasn't really known that much back then.
It was kind of all quite intermingled as well. I feel like now we have quite sort of not set structured rules, but if you were to say someone the difference between like a trans person, like a transgender person and a non-binary person, you'd probably be able to tell where the difference lies.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was just kind of like all under the T-slur and everyone was the same kind of thing.
Seeing them together, it was like, wow, this amazing, gave me so much like life. And then I discovered William Sled. So I remember the first video I ever saw of him, he was like, just a gay guy who did hair and stuff, and he did like a hair tutorial. It was like, hey guys, it's William, and today I'm doing my hair. And then he always used to start with this video going, hey bitches. He was like one of the first people ever to do that. Cute. He had a Q&A series called Ask a Gay Man, and when he stopped doing because he stopped YouTube a long time ago, like long time ago, I took that as like my Q&A series from like 2010, I want to say. So I took, because he stopped doing it, I was like, well, I guess I could have this thing.
Yeah.
So I remember doing that, and just again seeing, they were like the 3 first people I ever discovered who were gay.
Chris was like the first viral sensation as well.
I was thinking, with the whole Leave Britney Alone thing, he was probably one of the first.
Like super viral for one very specific thing.
Yeah. And like he actually got a lot of fame from it for a while. He was very famous. He was on so many TV shows. He went massive. He had like sort of like a weird music career at the time, which I liked actually. His early music was actually quite good.
Yeah, I know, right.
That trashy era from like I
have a few like trash bag songs from that era that I just like love. So I sort of got into makeup before I really sort of got into the internet, if that makes sense. So I was always really, really inspired by Pete Burns. He was like absolute icon in my sort of mind. I could never tell you where I first saw him.
Yeah, when he was on Big Brother, that's when I first saw him.
Oh, really? See, I knew of him before that because I was like stoked to hell that he was going to be on Big Brother because I was like, because back then you couldn't just like binge content of a person. No, you had to like wait for them to be on TV or something. So I have no idea how I found out about this Pete Burns person. But like, he was absolutely iconic. And this kind of led me in with my friendship groups at the time to start sort of exploring the goth scene because, hey bitches, I'm a goth. And I really was back then as well.
And I was a chav.
Yeah, so quite different, although now we're both dressed in black on the internet with lenses.
Dark lady.
Whatever. I was friends with this girl called Emily, and she was really into Japan. And I was quite into Japan and anime and all the pretty boys in makeup. And she really got me into Malice Mizer. So Malice Mizer were like this kind of genderfuck visual Kai band, and there was one specific character in this band called Mana, and Mana was like the most beautiful man I'd ever seen, who was just like very pale with long black hair, obsessed with the colour blue with like all these eyeshadows. This kind of led me into like finding out more about makeup online, and in the MySpace days I came across this infamous person called Jeffrey Paris. Okay. Do you remember Jeffrey Paris?
Now you've said the name, I feel like
I was like, this human being is so inspiring. Jeffrey Paris was a New York club kid, kind of in like that sort of era, I want to say from like 2005-ish kind of era. And he would hang around with Amanda Lepore and other club kids, notified club kids that I'm obviously forgetting right now. But he would post like ludicrous videos. He even coined that phrase, like, he made a video with his friend on YouTube being like, I really want to lose 3 pounds. And then his friend just pops in and says, take off your makeup. He wasn't like a YouTuber, but he had YouTube videos and some music and stuff that was all this kind of like really aggressive, transgressive, like visual, punky, cyberpunk kind of influence. And that was totally up my alleyway. I wanted neon hair and to be a club kid and to have lenses. So he's like the first inspiration that I really had.
What year was this again, sorry?
This must be 2007. Just after I left school, I had a year. And in this year, I found out about Malice Mizer and all these bands, and then moved into like the club kid kind of scene that I really, really enjoyed. And then by 17, I'd shaved my eyebrows off, half my head, was bleaching it pink, blue, and all these colours, and going to college in Brighton as it. And I stuck out like a sore thumb because there wasn't really very many people like me in Brighton. Then I made friends with like 5 people that were like me, and we became really close friends, and it was really, really, really cool.
Isn't it weird that like back then, like how, because it's so normalised now, like there is still discrimination against people, but like it's so normalised now to see like guys in makeup and androgynous men sort of be stars or be more visual, but back then it was like nothing.
Oh yeah, like I never
was like a big deal.
It was like I was on the, when I first started YouTube, being a boy in makeup at that time as Michael James, I like could never get a brand deal. They didn't really exist, but also everyone was still kind of like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's like branded like you're a sellout. I can't believe you do that.
And now, 10 years later, it's like, yes, Queen, get those coins. And it's like, that was not the case, even 10 years ago in 2009. And I really sort of started around that sort of time, 2007, from being inspired by Jeffrey Paris and all these people. And somehow I came across Picturelude, and he stopped YouTube a long time ago.
He used to like disappear and then come back and then disappear and come back all the time.
I want to say like he stopped like 8 years ago. Like,
properly,
quite a while.
Yeah.
But he introduced me to MAC Cosmetics. He introduced me to the idea of loose pigments, glitters, gluing your eyebrows down, shaving them off if you want to, doing like extreme but also somewhat wearable makeup. It was just this explosion of colour and ideas that I'd never really experienced before. And having someone, a professional makeup artist, sit down and teach you their tips was like actual gold dust back then. And this must have been 2008, 2009 time.
So for me, after I discovered those people, this is like sort of late 2007 now, I came across Johnny Boy XO.
Oh my gosh. Actually thinking about it now, Johnny Boy's quite like problematic.
Yeah, and like his...
What's one called like...
Tranny-licious.
I was about to say, I wasn't going to say that word, but I was like, yeah, tranny-licious. Tranny-licious.
What a tease. All my bitches are the knees. My body and my face is right. You wish you could this every... I still listen to this music. I started YouTube in 2008. So I started with my best friend Hannah. We did, it was called Psycho Vloggers, which was our channel. And we're just like vlogging our life. And there were a couple of other people that I kind of watched in that time. Like I found, there was, what are they called? 5 Sort of Straight Guys, a bit of a problematic name now. And it was just like a gay collaboration channel.
5 Sort of Straight Guys?
Yeah,
I love
5 Sort of Straight Guys. And it was like straight acting masked guys, kind of, it's problem as eye roll and stuff. But again, back in that day, like that was kind of a term that a lot of people used. Straight acting kind of gets used now, but like it's a lot more problematic. Like people go, ugh, straight acting. But back then it was kind of like,
Mask has kind of taken over that now.
Yeah. So I remember watching that, and there was a guy called Derek on it, and oh my god, the drama of the years. So there was a guy called Derek who was on this 5 Sort of Straight Guys channel, and he left the channel, and then everyone constantly would just... Basically, the viewers destroyed the channel because they would never let it go that he left. They constantly commented on like every single people's videos. Where's Derek? Where's Derek? Where? It was like real drama of the scene. And because he just disappeared, didn't say why, he just vanished.
Oh, really?
And everyone kept going, he's not coming back, he's not coming back. And everyone's like, why? To the point where like, they literally destroyed the channel. But yeah, so that was like one of the first collaboration channels I started watching. Because I didn't know anything about 5 Awesome Gays or anything, because that was like the biggest one at the time. I can't remember if I knew you before or after that. So for people who don't know, like relationship I've got with Luxeria is, I used to be a psychotic fan. So basically, there was a channel called 5 Awesome Trannies, which Luxeria had with other people. It's like, again, it was a collaboration channel. Yeah. And it was androgynous guys all together, like a day of the week. I literally do not remember how I found you.
How did anyone find anything back then? I have no idea how this happened.
The recommended was really weird. It must have been recommended to me. Someone's video must have been recommended for me because of, I was watching like Johnny Boy and Love Me Scott, and obviously the algorithm somehow must have connected all you guys together. So I stumbled across your channel, and you and another YouTuber who was called the Viscount Strathanthus.
Oh, I was about to talk about him later.
Anyone can remember, like, anyone back in the day, literally incredible person. Like, I stupidly obsessed and stupidly struck with this person. Basically, he was an androgynous guy.
I love the Viscount Strathanthus. He was like my first real internet digital friendship that I really connected with someone. He was like a few years older than me, and I could tell that there was that a little bit of different in like life maturity by that point. But I still really, like, I have such a special place in my heart for Viscount Strathanthus. He made a video for my birthday, an actual music video to the song Cherry Lips by Garbage, and like engineered this whole video where he was like running down the road in like pink heels, like imitating me with a blue wig on. It was like, I think about it and I'm like, my goodness, someone did that for me. When I think of like Viscount's old looks, where he had like long white hair and would dress as a goth, that was like my ultimate idea. Like we had such a connection with like fantasy video game villains, because that really gelled with me. Because I was very much like, I want to be a new wave rave mess. And also, you know, a cyberpunk, white-haired, white-lensed, gothic extravaganza.
And the thing is, well, like, Viscount's video production quality for the time was incredible.
Absolutely. He had to film on a DV camera, on an old actual video camera, and then firewire the footage to his computer.
And it was like all green screens, and he'd make like pretty crazy backdrops. And like,
absolutely. Before you could just like type into YouTube how to make a green screen.
Yeah, like, no, it was incredible. And this, again, 2008, 2009 time, like that was a big deal. Like it was, so there was no wonder why he was one of the most praised people of that time.
The internet mourned when he
I was devastated. I was so upset when he disappeared. I couldn't even
get in contact with it. I was like, this friendship that I had just gone whoosh,
it was so bizarre, so bizarre. You were like the next generation, so it was you guys and then it was Jeffree Star. Because the other people that I had found were Americans, as much as I connected with them, it was still a slight distance.
There's a culture barrier.
So I always say this to Lux, is like, she literally changed my life in the day because you were literally one of the first British androgynous people that I'd ever seen in my life. And because you're British, and because you had the same humour, you had the same kind of, you knew what was kind of like, you knew English things. It was like, so it was that instant kind of like, wow. And I was all fucking obsessed with you. It was amazing, and you really did change my life. And I've said this in our queer chat we did a long time ago, I owe so much to who I am now to you, because you're one of the reasons what made me do YouTube, one of the reasons that I felt so comfortable kind of being who I am. So it's like, it's crazy. We said this before, but like, it's crazy that we've become such good friends after all these years. Yeah, so 5AT, you guys were the massive thing. Obviously when I started my channel, my videos were shit. But kind of everyone's videos.
God, I remember that breast killer. There was so one of the videos I made was called Vista is a Silly Lady, and it was literally me complaining about Windows Vista. It was only a 5-minute thing, and it got like 9,000 views. It was my most viewed video for ages, and I was like, who are these people watching this blue-haired mess with like really bad extensions and a zebra print shirt on, going, Vista is a silly lady, oh my God, like. But it resonated with people. People loved it. And I was like, gag, can you imagine doing that now?
Like that YouTube of that day was so, but like things like the sidebar instead of like that's where all the description was.
And you could have your little like logo above the subscribe button. And it used to be able to be a GIF, so you could be like, animate, click here to subscribe.
You could, And like the 5-star ratings on videos before, it was like...
Do you remember when you also used to get a banner for an award for how well you did on that day? I used to regularly get like top beauty guru in the UK today. And I used to be like, oh yes,
it was incredible. Well, this is why I say to you, like back in the day, like again, remember times were different with how many people on YouTube, especially with this niche. Like you and the 5AT guys were so. Although your channel, had 9,000 subscribers, like you say it was. You guys started the trend. You guys started.
Well, Androgenetics only got 20,000 subscribers.
So I remember, so that was good, and then, so at that time as well. So I had been on 2 collaboration channels. So originally I was on my first one called That's So Gay Daily, and I was I was Monday, I think I was.
Oh really? I always thought Monday was a bit too much of a responsibility.
Well, the thing is, I quite like being the Monday just because when the topic came along, yours was fresh. So because obviously with collaboration channels, it was like themes.
It's so really difficult. It's so difficult to organise a collaboration channel.
It was, but that's why they're not around anymore. Like it's just not a thing. And then I was on 5 Happy Brits with another load of people. So that was like another thing. And then I was on Gays of the Week. So it was, I was like a collab channel whore back then.
Well, collaboration channels were so big back then. Like Tyler Oakley owes his entire career to 5 Awesome Gays. Which, like, some of the other ones haven't made it to that level.
So I'm actually friends with Johnny Pixel, who was on it. We're good friends now, and he doesn't do videos anymore. Disney Kid, who was on 5 Awesome Gays, he's kind of disappeared now. I think he has a gaming channel now.
Disney Kid was so funny. It was like complete really deadpan, funny. Like such a desert humour, so dry. I used to gag, like die of laughter.
So I think he does gaming videos now, but he's kind of disappeared. I don't remember who the other 2 were. So, and all the people for me, so 5 Happy Brits, all the people disappeared. That's the Gays Daily, all the people disappeared. I'm the only one still there. Gays of the Week is just me and Miles J, who still make videos now.
Oh my gosh, Miles J. Well, yeah, that was one of my next, because like, when I went to school, there was one black guy in my entire, I think probably even my entire high school. So that was the level of like exposure to people of colour that I had. And I'd never really known about the struggle of like all different people from different parts of the world, especially then being queer and, you know, a person of colour. So when I stumbled across Miles J, I was like, amazed at the wealth of like just so much character and personality because he was so intelligent with his little skits and his dancing skills are incredible.
And he was really young back then as well.
Really young.
He's a lot
and
younger
also,
than us.
Funny. And that was like a big thing that I'd never really like come across someone being androgynous but also being amusing because for me it was always very much like I cannot be seen as a joke, so I have to be really strong. And that's like actually quite detrimental when you think about it because now I don't really care about taking the piss out of myself, but at the time I was like, you can't tell me anything, I'm the queen. But yeah, so he really exposed me to this kind of like queer person of colour life.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never really thought about wearing wigs before I'd watched his sort of stuff. And then, like, seeing him rock so many different hairstyles so easily. And also being quite, like, interested in Japan as well.
Yeah.
And, like, all things kawaii and cute. That kind of really resonated with me. And I was really surprised. And when he agreed to go on Androgenetics, I was like, shookthehouse.com boots. I'd never spoken to Miles J before, but I'd, like, been a viewer. So I was like... But he was like really famous at this point. He was on maybe like 400,000 subscribers and I was like, he's not going to do our little shitty channel. And lo and behold, he did. And I was like, actually gagged.
The thing is with Miles J is a bit like the same with my kind of story is of like, he had been doing it already for so long that the humbleness stays with you because you don't go from nothing and like, because a lot of people who suddenly become famous instantly, who's only just started YouTube, become a little bit stuck up because they don't really understand the
They feel like they've deserved it.
Yeah, exactly. So people like Miles and people like me who have done it for a long time before they've even got some sort of recognition is you appreciate it so much more and you don't, it doesn't go to your head the same way that other people do. When he went viral, he didn't leave Gays of the Week.
No.
He didn't leave at all until we ended the channel in well, we left in 2013.
The video that made Miles J, was it Like My Status?
Yeah, Like
My
Status.
Status.
Yeah. Ray William Johnson put it on his show back when he was like a thing. So like, it just blew him up. Isn't that crazy that he used to be once the most subscribed person on YouTube and then like Ray William Johnson and then the whole review channel kind of thing. He was like one of the first review, which is like weird because
Newsy/review.
No, he is literally a reply girl who got famous.
Yeah.
Girls would take a viral video that was going on and then, because back then you would put like something, like that was all you put like and then you put like a viral, you put like the video title. So what these people were doing, and also because you could see tags back then, you didn't have to get apps.
Yeah.
So basically you used to be able to see video tags that people had been doing. So what these reply girls would do would put R-E with a colon and then put like the viral video name. What they would do is they'd come on and the thumbnails would be like cleavage with an arrow. That was all it was. And the girls would be like, hi guys, so I just seen this really funny video, Kelly likes shoes. I'm gonna link it in the description. It's really funny and you should check it out. And then that's literally all the video would be.
My gosh,
that's all the video would be. And because monetization was a little bit different back then, they were making so much money because they would take, what they would do is they would copy all of the tags as well and put it into theirs. So these viral videos, their videos would come next in the suggested. So that was how they kind of rigged the system, which is why YouTube then changed the algorithm. The reply girls destroyed YouTube for a while. So they changed the algorithm for watch retention. So what would happen is reply girls, people would click onto them and then would like 2 seconds later would click off.
Yeah.
So the watch time would be like 1 second off.
Yeah.
So what would happen is YouTube changed the algorithm, so if that happened, the video would be taken off like...
Oh, okay. So they could get flagged.
Yeah, so it basically destroyed the watch girl movement. The reply girl movement.
And also there was like rules, like you had to be over a certain size to get 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was actually a really vain reason as to why I wanted to be a YouTube partner, and I was one of the first in Britain to be a YouTube partner, is because I was like dying at the fact that I always had some ugly thumbnail, and I was like, I really need a good thumbnail for my videos.
You used to try and plan thumbnails
beforehand. Because you'd have to be like,
really hard.
So I'm going to be at this point, so I have to kind of like...
Yeah, it's like,
and then hold it for a few seconds whilst I'm still talking to retention.
Yeah. Because I remember I became a partner in 2011, and you had to, back then, guys, you had to like apply properly and fill in like a massive form.
Yep.
Anyone could apply to be a partner, but only some people be selected. So for me, I had a few videos get monetized that like YouTube messaged me saying, this video is doing well, how about you try and monetize it? So I monetized it. So because that was happening, I was like, oh, maybe I can apply to be a partner. You had to apply, you had to write this massive blurb about yourself, why you want to be a partner, why you do YouTube. You had to tick all these boxes and stuff, and then you get approved. I got approved and I went mental. And I remember like all the different things that YouTube had, like Cosmic Panda. That was like a weird thing that they had for a little while, where the channel banners were odd, and then you had to like code things in weirdly by using the site, and the thumbnails were really horrible on the screen. And then there was like a weird thing that they did with the sub feeds, where like the thumbnails were really tiny and they made the writing really big, and it was like, why are you like prioritizing writing over the thumbnail picture? It was really odd.
Awful.
They had so many weird, they had a weird thing for a while as well, which not many people remember because it was so short, where they had like a little TV icon at the bottom of the screen. You would click on the TV and you could see the YouTuber usernames of who was watching it live at that moment.
Oh my gosh.
So you could see exactly who was watching it, but they only had it for a tiny bit.
Really?
But I think it took too much. I think it took too much bandwidth for them.
Okay.
So there was like, yeah, a little live view. There were so many little things that they did that I vividly remember.
Should we go back to the point of this video?
Yeah.
Of like old OG YouTubers that we absolutely love. So when I was growing up, I kind of had this idea of what a drag queen was. And it was always the kind of like one that's in a dive bar that literally is like Barry in the week, Tina on the weekend kind of thing, that was very sort of like truck drivery. I had a very specific idea and it wasn't like a glamorous idea. Then I somehow stumbled across the marvellous drag queen that is Vala Jean Merman.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know this?
No.
We're going to binge her videos later, sweetie, because she is the funniest, most hilarious drag queen I've ever seen. She literally is like this massive, burly man, but the way she presents herself, it's like, I believe that is a real woman that lives really in the world and is literally like the most ditzy ginger. It's fantastic. And the amounts of skits she used to do when like, she must have had like a proper production team and everything back in like 2008, 7, like when it was like seriously difficult to organise these sorts of things, and people would always be like, you're making a video for what? Anyone who's listening, you have to search Vala Jean Merman. She is so hilarious. If there's one drag performer I could ever get to see in my life, if I ever go to America, go and see her. She's often in Provincetown. Where is that? Orlando, I guess? Idea. I'm not sure, but Provincetown, and she is brilliant.
So one of the early people that I remember, a woman called Andrea now, but in the day she used to be called Jalissa Jaconi. So I remember like I remember stumbling across her. I remember the first video I remember seeing her. She just came back from having like her lips done, and it was so. I was like, who is this person with extremely bleached blonde hair and a humongous breast? And it was. I was like, wow, this. We're actually friends now. I loved. We talk about Jeffree Star and stuff, like we talk about music a little bit, I was obsessed with all that music. Like Jeffree Star's music from back in the day was so good. I was obsessed, I loved his music so much. And like even Chris Crocker's, and then Love Me Scott did a few songs, and Johnny Works, so all their songs was great. But I feel like that kind of era of music's dead now. Like that kind of like
DIY.
Yeah,
like,
I loved that kind of like shitty element to it.
Like there's a video that Jenna Marbles did called like How Lady Gaga Writes a Song or something, and she like, it sounds like all the same music that was like done around that. Jenna Marbles is another one, super sky. I was just looking through her channel the other day. She's got like 57 million views.
And she's still killing it. She's one of the rare ones who are around back then. Like
her and Shane are like the OGs.
Yeah, like I remember the first time I discovered What the Buck.
Oh my god, What the Buck!
So I remember finding Michael Buckley with the Two Girls One Cup reactions.
I'd never seen that video. I'm never going to see it.
I remember my friend showed it to me. So I found him because he did a reaction to it. And obviously at the time he was doing like pop culture, news stuff.
He was the celebrity gossip.
And
like
again,
Perez Hilton.
Yeah, and he wasn't, I think it was different to Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton was an arsehole about it. What the Buck wasn't. Michael was a nice person. And again, we're friends now, which is odd to think that I'm friends with someone I used to watch.
He was the first YouTuber to make a full-time career out of YouTube.
Yeah, he was one of the first people.
When he did that, when he like came out publicly and said like, all I do is do YouTube now, news agencies around the world lost their shit. They wrote stories about him being like, how dare this person do this? Like this gay guy that just makes a career making videos, like what kind of lunacy? Where is the world going? Now it's like the ultimate dream career. So another drag queen that I absolutely loved from history of time was Jackie Beat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Half of the band Dirty Sanchez. I loved the song Euthanasia, and it's all about youth in Asia, not euthanasia, the drug, but like that was the like gag. And she had amazing makeup skills. And I emailed her once being like, what do you use as foundation? Your skin is so good. And she was like, Panstick Babes from Hollywood Wigs. And I was like, I don't understand what this means.
There was another person who I loved back in the day called Arabia Felix, who was a drag artist, incredible makeup artist, incredible friends with them now.
He's gone viral a few times as well from his makeup looks, hasn't he?
And one of the MAC competitions or something.
Yeah.
So we follow each other now, which is nice. And I remember back in the day, like seeing, because like the thing about Arabia was the fact that I don't know where they're living now. They still live, but they live in the Middle East.
Oh, so that's the gag.
It was always very. I remember he was always saying about how like he was really scared about people finding out what he did.
Like quite dangerous.
Yeah,
really.
because it's dangerous because you could get arrested and stuff for being a drag artist. So the thing is, I'm really hoping that some of you are watching this will go, oh, that person, or that person. Please, if anyone is listening or watching this, please comment down below or comment, let us know about any other YouTubers that you might have known from the day that we might have been forgetting about.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
When we leave this and stuff, there's going to be so many people that we're like, oh, we've got about this person, we've got about this person.
I used to watch this hilarious, like, CD.
CD.
For those of you who don't know what a CD
that's an old.
is.
That's like Gay Rabbit.
But this
thing. I used to sorry to quickly. I remember me and my friend Emma. We used to sit and watch Gay Rabbit on Sky all the time just to watch. And some of the things that people would say, like really odd, like, and then people would like ring in and be like, "Hello, this is Chris from blah blah blah. I'm into TV and I'm also blah blah blah."
CD,
like
DVD,
all this stuff.
yeah.
It was, and I never really understood what half these terms meant when we were younger. And some of the photos that people used to put into those, they were like,
no, risque.
Is Gay Rabbit still a thing? Is that still a thing on Sky?
I kind of hope so. People need to know where we've come
from. But that's
from.
also like really depressing if that is. Like, it's
weird,
kind of grim at this point.
It
like,
is.
you've got the internet, babes. Like,
this person was a CD cross-dresser, and they were a larger, older man, shall we say. So what he did was he would set up these entire skits, completely scripted production, all by himself, dress up as his like Diana like alter ego, and there was one that was like, Diana sees a fairy godmother or something like this.
God, okay.
And it was so like, Diana was in her kitchen and she was very like, oh, I'm depressed, I don't have a man, I don't have anything. And gag of the century. So he'd made this like homemade fizzing bomb type thing and like threw it into the kitchen and it just went with smoke to get like a smoke screen. And then it would be like, poof! And there was this big like CD in this giant wedding dress being like, hello! And it was so gag-worthy. Now, looking back, it was like hilarious. I can't remember what the channel's called, so I'm probably never going to see that again.
That's really sad.
That is one of the saddest things, is that like, you've had all these big moments, and if you forget about them as you do when you get older, you've got no way of really searching for them. How on earth did we find things?
We said this last time we were together. It's sad because like, at the time, you don't think about downloading these videos. You think, oh, they'll be here forever.
Yeah.
There are a few videos now that I've downloaded from YouTube and been like, if this ever disappeared, I'd be really sad.
There's one that I have from Androgenetics that's in Estradu called Satanic Booty Shaking.
Oh, okay.
And I have that saved because that is like hilarious.
Yeah. I am sure that there are so many people that we have forgotten about, or like just because you know, I'm sure there'll be more that we remember. And maybe
it's so easy to just skim over a few videos and forget.
Yeah, forget like people who like impacted us or what did, you know, back in the early days. If there's anyone that you remember, please comment down below.
Or a channel or like a specific video that you think might trigger some memories.
Yeah.
Both good and bad, maybe.
And also share your own experiences of people that you remember. Like, please tell us like things that might have impacted you. Again, it just maybe one video that you watched that was like, wow, that's
changed my life.
Yeah. So please let us know that. And yes, thank you so much for listening and watching and everything. We also
hope you have a lovely day.
Yes, or evening or
whatever you're doing. Or sleepy bye-bye.
Yeah.
Beat the baby.
Beat the baby. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Gag of the Millennial. We are enjoying doing this so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for all the positive feedback.
If you have any
so much fun.
recommendations for topics you'd like us to do as well, we
are
all ears.
Yes, please. If there's anything you want us to talk about. And anuses. So, hit the like button, this really help out. Social media links are down below in the comments and in the description. We love you. Be fabulous, amazingly gay. Be everything you want to be, and don't let any bitch that they take on with you because you're what?
Flawless.
Yes!